a Catholic Crusader king, left alone on a faraway Mediterranean beach. In this video, you will witness the story of a boy that was granted the Kingdom of Valencia, in the middle of a war-torn Iberian peninsula, going through the Iberian struggle. Surrounded by hostile rulers and without the trust of the local population, he will have to build, murder and fight to ultimately unite the land as the Empire of Hispania. This is Castor, the King of Valencia. In the previous video, his father King Tullius Tallboy of Bohemia made Bohemia the richest kingdom of the world, and he funded the crusade for Valencia, which was then granted to Castor. And now it is time for Castor to carve out his own destiny. First, Castor arranged a marriage between one of his courtiers and a guy named the King of Thieves, who would become an amazing spy master with 33 intrigue. He used the spy master to murder his cousin and wife because she had the frail trait and was my cousin. Castor's vassals were all beneficiaries to countries that joined him in the Crusades, making them all have a pretty good opinion of Castor. This made the Kingdom of Valencia safe for hostile factions for now. Castor decided to take a stress hit and reset his skill perks. He put all of his points into the architect tree. He could use this to make constructing buildings a lot cheaper, making Valencia just as prosperous as Bohemia was. Sadly, father soon died and left everything to our dwarf brother Moneyboy. This was kind of fair because we already got Valencia, but Bohemia was a lot more prosperous and developed. Bohemia had plus 50 gold per month and we only got plus 7. It won't be easy to win back though, because we'd have to fight the whole Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, let's just shelve that plan for now. Castor managed to kill his cousin wife and instantly married a lustful blonde 19-year-old lowborn, Philippa. He immediately started seducing her and boom, pregnant, succession fixed. That's how easy it is, boys. After these sinful acts, he felt the need for forgiveness and went on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land of Jerusalem. He also made his first investments into the Kingdom of Valencia and started the construction of buildings that would increase his future income. As he returned from the pilgrimage, there was a civil war going on in the Holy Roman Empire, and Castor took his chance and pressed his claim on the Kingdom of Bohemia, assisted by his ally, the King of England. It wasn't an easy war, but the war was won. Bohemia was free from the claws of the Holy Roman Empire, and his father's lands were now in possession of Castor. He felt great and now had the income of 50 gold per month and a troop count of 14k. This was really huge and was going to be crucial for the future conquest of Hispania. After that, Castor did a little extra war for land, and he managed to kill the King of Castile. That was great because without his power we could now gain land in Castile a lot easier. Let's continue our daily business and invest some more money into the buildings. Castor found a guy named Ramon of Barcelona, who had a claim on the Duchy of Barcelona. We killed the current king of Aragon and fought the war for Ramon to get Barcelona. That's a whole duchy in one war. Oh yeah. Castor's son Prince Bank came of age, and we found him a nice genius wife to secure the future succession. Because Castor already knew that he wasn't going to create the empire in his life, and he had to count on his offspring to do it for him. He also turned his son into his steward. He wasn't all that good at it, but this still gave him the ability to gain just that little extra stewardship experience. Castor started a war for the rest of the Duchy of Barcelona, and after winning this, he was now ruler of the whole Mediterranean east of the Iberian Peninsula. Slowly but surely, the influence of the Tallboy dynasty was growing. Castor and Philippa had a lot of children together, but he wasn't marrying them off just yet, saving the alliances for better moments. Castor was doing great in the stewardship skill tree. He already mastered the art of architecture and made tons of money making buildings. And he even got the avaricious perk. He now netted a whopping 75 gold per month. That's just crazy. And he was also good friends with the Pope. So when he requested money, it was a good amount. Time to reinvest it back into the buildings. At this point, the Kingdom of Valencia was the strongest presence in Iberia. So bit by bit, he gained more and more land. Just after my grandson Bitcoin was born, the Pope organized a crusade to Lithuania. And although we had good experiences with crusades, that's how we got Valencia, Lithuania wasn't really of our interest. Like, it's on the other side of Europe. Just take my money, Pope. By this time, Castor had been living in Valencia for 30 years, more than half of his life. He was surrounded by their customs and beliefs for such a period of time that he almost forgot what life was like back in Bohemia. What he first thought of as barbarian now felt normal to him. To be a real king of the people, it was now time for him to officially accept the local culture as his own. He was now of the Andalusian culture. Just look at Felipe's new hat, it looks great. Apparently something changed in the Iberian struggle and we could now war with the casus belli called struggle clashes. These are kinda expensive, but it really speeds up the gaining of land, next to fabricating claims and inviting claimants. By the way, just look at this money income, it's freaking crazy. During the war for another county, Castor sadly passed away, and he left Valencia to his heir Bank. This kinda sucked because Bank's brother Dollar got the Kingdom of Bohemia. Bohemia had a lot more income and troops, so that wasn't good. And all Bank was left with was negative income. Also, the kingdom wasn't Valencia anymore, but it was Aragon, which sounds pretty cool, not gonna lie. So it was now up to Bank to steal back Bohemia, which wasn't going to be easy because Dollar had the double amount of troops he had. The local populace and most of Bank's vassals were not so happy with their new king. So it kinda was all-out war for the first years of his reign. He invited all of his sisters back to his court and married them off for good alliances, one of them with the Kingdom of France. And France helped out fight those wars off. Unfortunately, in the middle of the war the French abandoned me, and I had to find new allies in a pinch. Merci beaucoup, motherfuckers. Now I had some new Croatian friends to help us out. Bank got the message that his uncle Moneyboy died, but he couldn't be sad. He was now head of the dynasty, and he also inherited 4 artifacts. Bye-bye, Uncolino. Thanks for the goodies. While begging for alliances, I also became allied with the Kingdom of Xenxir, which wasn't all that great because we needed their land too. Whoopsie. After managing his skills, wanting to go down the same route as his father and grandfather, Bank turned to murdering his bishop because he kinda sucked. The Pope will just give us a better one eventually. Our brother Dollar in Bohemia was too far away to try and fight in a straight-up war. So Bank decided to set up a murder scheme to murder his brother and get the land, because Dollar had no children and Bank was still his only heir. The Kingdom of Aragon was growing bit by bit, but we still had a long way to go to create the Empire of Hispania and end the Iberian struggle. Count Munio was a pretty big independent count next to the kingdom. Bank decided to sway him and hopefully vassalize him in the future. And not long after, the murder of Dollar was a success. And while everyone now knows Bank is a murderer and kinslayer, he has the most prosperous kingdom of the world under his control. He made the Kingdom of Bohemia his primary title, so that if he died, his son would get the good part of the land. I checked the current status of the Iberian struggle, and because faith was spreading slower in this phase, I took the priest of spreading faith and put him into fabricating claims. I totally forgot about Munio, and although the swaying didn't really work, he was more than happy to join us through vassalization. Vassalization? He was more than happy to join us. Welcome to the club, Count Munio. Bank has won yet another war with the southern neighbors and was happy with the results. He looked at his lands and slowly it was growing. Grandfather Tallius would have been proud. To unlock the creation of the Empire of Hispania, the Iberian struggle had to be ended. There were 3 ways to do it, and I was aiming to do it the dominance one, because it seemed like the easiest. Just conquer most of Iberia. And it also had the best nickname rewarded, the Conquistador. Sounds cool, right? And although Bohemia was getting an increasingly bigger foothold in Iberia, the Tallboy dynasty still had a long way to go. But Bank did a pretty good job at speeding the process up. He fought one war in Castile, and it split up in Castile and Leon. Now being separated, they were easier to fight. He married off his son into an alliance with Hungary. Then he created some duchies to get him enough prestige to fight the war for the Duchy of Leon. Easy winnings. The bishop got us a claim on the whole Duchy of Talaitula. So Bank also started a war for that, which was pretty easy. 30k troops versus 8k. And just look at the kingdom now. It's starting to look like something, right? King Bank was getting kinda old, but his inheritance looked pretty good. Unfortunately, half of his kids already died, and his only son would get everything. Let's just try and keep him alive. To end the Iberian struggle, we needed to do several things, and the checklist for dominance ending was looking pretty good. But just now I saw that we needed to have all counties in the main kingdom to be of Andalusian culture and the Catholic faith. So I quickly put down the steward to do his work and promote culture. After fighting another war versus Galicia for some more land, and another war against Castile for the whole kingdom, King Bank passed away. His contribution to the unification of Hispania was great, but his son Bitcoin still had a lot to do. He had one extra hurdle to overcome. Father Bank didn't read between the lines of the latest letter of the Holy Roman Empire when he accepted to be vassalized by them if they helped with the war. Oh well, the first thing Bitcoin did during his reign was attack the Kingdom of Galatia. Pretty easy, he won the war after the first fight by capturing the queen. But having met Queen Aldonza in his prison, he had fallen in love with her. So he invited her to his court and started romancing her. Hopefully she could give him a son and heir. After having only daughters, he managed to rescue her from a thief, and they now became soulmates. So he divorced his wife, murdered her husband, and married Aldonza. From enemy queen to prisoner to lovers. What a beautiful love story. Suddenly, Bitcoin saw that the Empire of France was formed. He managed to ally them and asked them to help for their war for independence to the Holy Roman Empire. And together they won the war. And then suddenly it happened. Finally, a son after having 7 daughters.
A son.
The succession was safe, and now it was time to win. Bitcoin spent some money in promoting revolts in Castor and managed to split it up. After fighting 2 more wars, there was only one little county left. And they just joined as vassals. The Sheikhdom of Santa Maria was conquered. And with that, Bitcoin Tallboy ruled over all of Hispania. Time to finally end the Iberian struggle once and for all, and honor the Tallboy dynasty by creating the empire. What? What? It isn't working? I need to control less than 50% and I already control 98%? And I cannot end it? Well, that was kinda anticlimactic. Let's just call it the Empire of Aragon then. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys next time. Bye!